Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the big ideas for section 6.1. So let's start with quantitative variables. One of the big things that we learned about in this particular lesson was there are two types of quantitative variables. One is a discrete random variable. So this is the key word right here, discrete random variable. And those are fixed numbers. They are whole numbers that can be counted. So some examples of discrete random variables might be the number of brothers and sisters that you have. Those are counted. The number of computers or the number of cell phones you have in your household, that can be counted. So that would be a discrete random variable. Continuous random variables are variables that can be measured and they can take on any value. So for example, the amount of water in a water bottle, the number of ounces, you could have 5.2 ounces or 5.27 ounces or 5.92781 ounces. So we're looking at continuous random variables are measured and they can take on any value. So then that brings us to expected values. Now we've been looking in this particular lesson at probability distributions. So an expected value is another way to say mean. When you hear expected value or what do you expect, you should be thinking mean or average. Now for a probability distribution, this is the formula that you should be using to find your expected value. The easy way to describe this formula is to say you're going to take every value of x, multiply it times its corresponding probability, and then once you have all of those products, you add them all together. This is the symbol for sum. So the mean, which is the same as the mean of a probability distribution, which is the same as the expected value of a probability distribution, is when you take each value of x in your probability distribution, multiply it times its corresponding probability, and then add all those values together. Then that brings us to standard deviation. Now this right here is the formula for finding the standard deviation. This is the formula for finding the standard deviation for a probability distribution. Well, I'm telling you, you never need to find this by hand. You can find it by hand. It is possible, but it's just a lot of work. So we have the technology. Let's use it. We need to be using 1var stats in our calculator, and make sure if you can't remember how to do that, make sure that you go back and watch the video for this particular lesson so that you can see the instructions that I give you for finding the mean actually and the standard deviation for a probability distribution using your calculator. One last thing that I want to add to this, and that is, don't forget that variance is another measure of variability, and it is just the square of standard deviation. So if you find the standard deviation using your calculator, then you could just square that value to get the variance. So this has been the big ideas for section 6.1. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully you have a great day.